Hey, we're gonna do like a little impromptu training real quick. I got about 20 minutes. So since I got 20 minutes, I'm gonna do a quick little 20-minute training. I want to talk about the three money generating activities you need to focus on this weekend. So let me give everybody a couple minutes to come in. Give you a couple minutes to come in. Let's see. Let me share this. Girl, take it all from me. You know just what I want. Give me 1 second. Together on this. Give me 1 second. Facts.com. And I can also put it in a group. Boom. Okay. Kaden, go back outside. Okay, I just want to make sure that I'm sharing it right. Give me 1 second. Okay, I'm over here. I'm gonna make sure I'm on the other page real quick. Give me 1 second. Okay, they ain't on it yet. Let me share on my personal page real quick, and then we can get started. Let's get it started. Okay, let me see. Facts.com. Okay, I just want to make sure that I share it on my personal page. So, okay, we should be good to go. I'm on all of the pages now. Hello. You know why it wouldn't let me go to my YouTube page today? But we can worry about that another day. Okay, we're here. Okay, so I want to talk about just the three money generating activities that you guys can work on this weekend. I know everybody is kind of on their new year, new me. But if you don't have no new facts, forms, figures, new rituals, new processes, new procedures, you're going to get the same thing that you got last year. So if you like what you got last year, then you should go deeper into that. But if you don't like the results you got last year, then we need to reposition the entire framework. So which one are you? You trying to reposition the framework, or you like what you did last year? Like I've been talking to my quarter 1 and quarter 2 is kind of when I work a lot with my previous clients. Like they have new year, new me, new goals. And so we work on those. And so I have many clients that like what happened last year. They're just trying to ramp it up. I don't say scale because I hate the word scale. I feel like that's a buzzword. And out of 100 businesses, only probably 7 are in a position to be able to scale. So I hate the word scale. I like to say like grow, elevate, expand. That does not mean scaling. And so I feel like as we position our flow for what we're doing this year, what is that? Let me see. Can you guys see me okay? Can you hear me? Yeah. Okay, so I feel like as we position the flow this year, something has to be different. Like something has to give. We have to do something differently this year. And so, what that will look like is you having a different approach when you are working with old clients and or new clients. So, I want to talk about just kind of 3 money generating activities that you can do that are within your control. I think a lot of times we seek others to help us with things that we can actually do ourselves. But the thing is, you don't have the right strategy. So if you don't have it's like having a whole bunch of pieces to put a dresser together. If you don't have the manual to kind of give you, or a visual to kind of give you a framework on what to work with, it don't matter if you're able to do it. You can't even figure out how to do it because there is no roadmap, like it is no flow. So I feel like a lot of you have the work ethic, you have the ambition, but you don't have a strategy. So you do nothing because you really don't know what to do, and I think that's understandable. It's like starting a job and you go in there for your first day and they say like, okay, just start working. And you like, well, what am I supposed to do? I've never done this before. So I think if you had the right strategy, you would be able to see some different type of results, because the money is in the planning and the strategy, not necessarily in the doing of the work. Like you can hire somebody to do the work, but you have to know what to tell the people to be able to do. So my job is to give you the facts, the forms, the figures, and the strategy. So either you can do it or you can hire somebody else to be able to do it. Really doesn't matter. But in this season, I would want you to get the strategy from me and then you try to do it on your own. A lot of stuff you can do on your own. I know people be like, oh, I don't have the time, but you don't have no money. So you either have the time or you have the money. You cannot not have both. So you got to pick your heart. You either have the time to implement the things or you don't have the time, but you have the money to be able to, pay somebody else to be able to do those things. Like, which bucket are you in? You might be in both of them. Pick and choose. But I want to give you something that you can try actually this weekend to do on your own, and you don't have to. So the first thing that I want you to do this weekend is think about your 3 clients that you have had. Like these are like your unicorn clients. Like these are like the best clients you ever had. You wish all clients were like these clients. Like pick 3 of those, right? If you don't have 3, pick 2. If you don't have 2, pick 1. Okay. But pick your like dream client or dream person that you have worked with. Write a case study for each of them. What goes into a case study, you can figure that part out. That's a paid question. You could Google it if that's something that you want to do too. I'm very particular on how I like to write my case studies, but have you a case study, because the case study allows a client that will potentially work with you to be able to see where they could go. Like they can see themselves inside of it. Like, okay, she was a teacher. I'm a teacher. Okay, she quit her job as a teacher. I'm thinking about quitting my job as a teacher. Okay, she became a consultant that helps with curriculum development. Okay, I could do curriculum development. Okay, let me know a little bit more about it. So the case study allows the potential client to see themselves within what it is that you talk about. So if, when your case study is written properly, they'll be able to really envision themselves in becoming one of those results, not becoming that person, becoming one of those type of results, like one of those success stories. Like, oh my God, like that could be me. She started off where I was at, like, in a couple years, or, this year, that's where I want to see myself. So if you sit down this weekend and think about your unicorn clients, write out the framework and write out the case study. A case study is from your perspective. A testimonial is from the client's perspective, right? So the case study is from your perspective. The testimonial is from the client perspective. Because what a client will say is, I work with Bianca when I can't. Oh, I can give you this too. When you ask people for testimonials, stop just telling them to give you a testimonial. Be clear on what you want the testimonial to look like. When you leave a hotel and they send you a survey, they're very clear about what they want you to survey, okay? They ain't telling you just tell me about your experience. They're giving you a rubric, like a grid, to be able to work on. That's the same thing that you need to give the client, right? So quick little 3-point on what you wanted a testimonial was: where were you before you started working with Bianca? Where are you now that you have worked with Bianca? And what is one thing you would tell somebody that's on the fence about working with Bianca, right? So when you're asking your clients or customers to give you a testimonial, you need to guide the testimonial, because I don't want a testimonial that say, I work with Bianca, she great, you need to work with her. What does that mean? Like, what did she do? How did she help you? Like, good job, that does nothing for me. You could have just kept that, because that does nothing for me. So you have to be able to guide the person, because they don't know what to say. Like, you did great. Like, what else you want me to say? Right. I want you to say what project we worked on, what hurdles did we overcome, what problem or what obstacles did you have before you came over here? What is the one thing that we worked on that you still implement now? What's the 30-day update? Like, you can get real specific inside of the testimonial that you're asking the client to be able to give you. So a lot of times clients don't give you testimonials because you're not clear, and that's a training for another day. But the testimonial is from the client perspective. The case study is from your perspective, because they was like, okay, well, she helped me do my 2-step funnel. Well, I need to now give my framework and my methodology, like based on her business model. Her 2-step funnel was a lot different because she's coming from corporate, and this is her first client. So how I chose to do this framework versus a client, who have been in business for 5 years, and they have a lot of clients, is totally different. So my framework is different. So when you're doing your case study, is really your time to shine about your methodology and what you put into it, and what was kind of the brain work that kind of went into it when you are kind of writing your case study. So case studies are really good. I want to challenge you to write that case study, and then you can use that case study as kind of like a lead magnet. Like, hey, like I had one of my clients who had a launch, and she made 6 figures, in an hour, like based on the launch. And we did the launch, and she made 6 figures in an hour. Like, that's really dope. Like, so I could write a case study on how my client ended up having a 6-figure launch in only 60 minutes. So really good case study. That's a really good headline, because everybody want to make 6 figures. Everybody want to make 6 figures fast, right? And so they want to see themselves inside of that. So if that was my case study, I can use that as a lead magnet to get you on my email list. And then once you get on my email list, then I can upsell you and say, like, hey, if this is something that you're looking to do, within the next 30 days, book a call. Or I can say, like, hey, if you want these type of results, I have this program. Like, I can use that as a case study and a lead magnet. So think of your top client that you had. Also, let's make sure that this is a service that you want to do. We are always evolving and always changing. And so what you liked in your business, last year might not be what you like this year. So don't use a case study or a testimonial for a business that you no longer want to do. Like, for me, each year I kind of switch my focus on what I want to do, and what I want to involve myself in, and what type of clients I want. So I wouldn't use a case study lead magnet flow for a service that I no longer want to offer, because the goal is for them to see that case study and then say, like, hey, I want this. Well, I don't want to do that no more. So it's like having an outfit on a mannequin, and they're like, oh my God, I want this outfit. Whole time you ain't got no more outfits, and this is the extra small that the mannequin got on. But everybody is coming in and they're attracted to that outfit. So you got 50 people that came in the store to ask about this outfit that you don't even have, you can't get, you're not going to order it, right? It's the same thing. Like, that you can't produce that, you don't want to produce that, you don't want that to happen. So don't have old products and services on display that is no longer a representation of what you do, how you do it, and what type of clients you want to attract. Because the goal is for the client to see that mannequin and be like, I came in the store because I want that. I don't know how much it's going to cost, but I love that shirt. I love that pants. I love them shoes. Like, I love the accessories. Like, I want all of that. Well, that's what you're doing when you're putting your products and services on display. You want us to want that. Well, if you can't produce it, don't have it, ain't never going to get it, then now I'm upset, right? So it's kind of like false advertising. Like, why you bring me in here knowing that this ain't what you can produce? But also the caveat to that is you have now piqued their interest to wanting that. And so now they're about to go find somebody to do that, right? Like, okay, well, she says she doesn't offer resume writing services, but I just seen a case study on her helping somebody get a 6-figure job. And now she's saying she don't offer that, and so now I need to find somebody to help me do a 6-figure, job. And they're going to take your case study and what you did and then give it to the next person. Like, hey, I want you to do my stuff just like this. She no longer offers this, but this is something that I want you to do, and I want you to make this for me. So that's something that you do not want. You want to have something out that you can actually produce, that you can actually do. So go through. So the first one is to write a case study, right? Based on 3 clients, and make the 3 clients have range, right? Like for me, we offer 3 different services, right? So for each of my testimonials, it wouldn't be the same 3. Since I offer 3 different services, I want to have 3 different testimonials to show the range. And the caveat to that is most of my 86% of my clientele is repeat clientele. So I've worked with one client and brought them through every different revenue stream and every different funnel, every different flow, every different income bracket that I have. So I can take, let me just make up a name. I could take Ashley, who came with me on a $19 product, and now she is a private client that do a VIP day every month. But that can show the range of how she started, because this might be the journey that we went through and kind of where she is right now. So you can take one client that you've worked with and put them through it. Like I just seen a fitness coach who her client came to her and she was like 400 pounds, right? So she showed from 400 right to 300, and from 300 to 200, right? And from 200, I think she like maybe like 180, right? But it's different journeys, right? Of when you could come to her, what you can do, how she transformed the body. And so she has this one client, but this one client is like 4 or 5 different case studies, right? So a person that is 400 or 500 pounds, they can eventually see where they want to go. From a person that's 200, and they're trying to be a bodybuilder or whatever the case might be, like they can see themselves inside of that journey. So you can absolutely take one client and work them through that flow. So the first thing is redo or do your case studies this weekend. That could be a money generating activity. Now, don't do all these things and then don't put it out. There's no purpose of you doing all this work and then it sits in your Google Drive or your Dropbox or on a cloud. We need to be able to see what you have so that we can be able to give you some money. You do all this work, you record all these videos, write all this content, and it's in your phone, in your computer, and we not coming to steal your computer to see what it is that you can do. So stop getting in the habit of doing but not being able to showcase it. The money is in the showcasing. The money is in the presentation. The money is in the presenting. The money is in the putting it on a sales page and being able to sell it. All this in your Dropbox, in your email, in your G Drive, like, don't do that this year, okay? I know a lot of y'all do that. You are a hoarder of information and you got all these cute notes and all these notebooks and all these ideas and you ain't put shit out yet. And it's just sitting there collecting dust when you could have put it out and it could have been collecting views, feedback, testimonials, maybe even some money. So don't do that this year, okay? So the first thing is you want to do some case studies and you want to be able to put those out, right? The second money generating activity that I want you to do this weekend is to send out a list, send out an email to your email list and just say like, hey, it's a new year. I know we all have new goals and new things going on. These are some of the projects that I'm working on. Which project would you find beneficial? Like you want to throw something out to the people that's already on your email list that already like, know, and trust you. Send out that email and see what they say. Like, oh, you said you working on proposals. Like that's something that I'm trying to get into. Like you want to stir up the conversation. So reach out to, and I'm just talking for coaches and consultants. That's all that I work with. So whatever other industry you work in, you're going to have to figure out how to make that work on your own. But I'm very niche specific and I only work with coaches and consultants. These things can be universal, but you're going to have to figure out how to make it work for yourself. Okay. So Send out an email to your email list. And you can even do this on your social media too. Like I do it all the time. Like, hey, this is what I'm working on. Like who might be interested in it. You can send out an email to your email list. You can, do a social media post if that's something that you want to do too. But the goal is to let people know what people want to be around winners. People want to be around people that's working, right? People want to be on a winning team. So you talking about what you working on and what you have going on, that will spark their interest too. Like, dang, like I've been wanting to work on that. Like, okay, let me just go ahead and work with her so that, we can start to work on this. So that might be something that you want to do. Whatever it is that your focus is. Speaking mission, right? My mission for quarter 1 is to help, 10 women to be able to write their outline for their book that will become a bestseller novel in January of 2026. Like who want to write their outline, something like that. Put the mission out. And so you can attract people with that mission. You can send an email or you can make that like a social media post if that's something that you wanted to do. So the first thing is to write some case studies, right? Yes, we're going to write a case study, okay? Right. You got to be a writer. Like it's nowhere around it. You can definitely chat GTP if that's something that you want to do, but you got to know what to tell chat GTP, and you have to know how to format it, and you know how to figure out how to make it in your own words, and you got to be able to do it on the fly. Like if somebody asks you right now and I'm sitting in front of you and they say like, okay, well, can you write up a formula for that? You can't be like, hold on, let me ask ChatGTP what to say. Like you can't do that. So you can definitely fake it till you make it if that's what you into, but you have to learn how to do these skill sets on your own. So you can always absolutely use those as tools, but what separates the amateurs from the experts is us as experts, we can really do it. We can really do it. And so I want you to be a person that can really do it, because that's where the money is, right? When you can really do what you say that you can do, and you can show up rain, hail, sleet, or snow in whatever type of room, whatever type of audience, whatever type of flow, and you can just do your job. That's where the money is. So I want you to be where the money is this year, okay? So the first thing is to write a case study. The second thing is to let people know what it is that you're doing. The third thing that works really well for a money generating activity and you can make money instantly, live demonstrations. A live demonstration will always close the deal. So like I used to help people with their elevator pitch so that they can do like pitch competitions and like meetings and like close deals. They like used to be the things that I used to help people with. And so I would do a free like training, and on the free training, I would just pick people and like go with them, and we could do the elevator pitch. And so I would do a live demonstration of me picking 2 or 3 people doing an elevator pitch, and then instantly I would get other people to be like, okay, I seen what you could do. Like, I want that. Or I would do a live strategy session, right? Like, okay, let's do a 15-minute strategy session. Tell me what the problem is, and I would work them through the framework to solve it. And within I'm really good. I've been doing this for a very long time. So within a matter of like 3 to 4 minutes, once you tell me I can probably already figure out what it is. I don't need to know the whole thing. I can diagnose like very fast. I've been doing it for a long time. So when you're able to do a live demonstration and people are, on the weekends when you go to Sam's Club or like Costco's and they have like a live person there and they're cooking the food, you're like, okay, let me get a pack of that. It's like it was here, it was cooked, I tried it, I like it, let me get it. Versus it being in the refrigerator and you pass and you're like, I don't know what that tastes like. I ain't about to buy that. Whole time they didn't cooked it already and gave you a sample. You're like, oh my God, this tastes good. Like I want it though. It's the live demonstration. It's the I see you in action. I see how it works. I see how this can work for me. So live demonstrations always work really well when you are trying to close. Like I'm a live streamer, as you can see. So live streaming, you're always going to make money live streaming. Do you hear me? You're always going to make some money doing anything live. Think about like street performers. Like they're just out there. They could have been on YouTube or, Instagram or TikTok doing it, but they decided to come outside in public with some people to do, a live demonstration. They're going to always get some money. Live demonstrations always convert. It will always convert for a person to see you up close and personal, for you to be able to do something live for them. So if someone does not have a client, can we create an avatar of our ideal client, or does this have to be an actual person? Because this is the case that I would probably want it to be an actual person, because that means you live. That means like we fluff something up together, you know. And so I would want it to be a lot of something that is of truth, something that you have done before. And it doesn't have to be of something that is paid, that is done before. It could be something that was of free that you've done before. But I'm not in the business of lying. So I would definitely want it to be somebody that you've already worked with already in some type of like capacity. I feel like how you start is how you finish. And so when you started to embellish, aka flat out lie about, you know, what you've done, what results you can do, how you help the client, like it becomes an addiction that people have. And so now there's just something that they have in their business, right? It's like you saying you could do this, you've never done it before, you've never done the full process, you don't know what it takes, and you wrapped up this imaginary thing into this imaginary bow. And then when people come, you don't know the facts, forms, and figures. You don't know how long it's going to take. You don't know how to price. Like, you don't know. So I probably, just me doing it for as long as I've done it and operating in integrity, that wouldn't be something that I would advise. I wouldn't advise you to just start making up shit. I would advise you to take a free client and say like, hey, this is a new service that I am trying, and I'm looking for, you know, 2 people to give this full service to. And it don't have to be free. It could be 90% off. Like, I don't do free shit because people don't appreciate free. So I wouldn't do it for free, but I would definitely do like a 80% off or 90% off in exchange for a video testimonial or written testimonial. And you want to be able to document the process. Because if it's free, they're not gonna show up. If it's free, they ain't gonna really put no work into it. And you trying to give it your all, and they not really serious about it, you know, just something like free, and it was like, okay, let me go ahead and take it. So I would make somebody put some money behind it and then do it from that particular angle. But I wouldn't be making up some results just to have something to show. But what you could say is, me being in this industry for over a decade, you know, I would take like a public person that people know. So like, hey, if I was to work with Beyonce and be on her marketing team, you know, this is the treatment that I would give to her. So you could do that, right? Like, take some that somebody know. Like, oh, if I was able to work with Janet Jackson and I was able to be her, you know, director of operations for her, I don't know, whatever, you know, this is the treatment that I would give to her. So you could spin it that way. You could spin it as somebody who we all know. And if you were on their team, this is the treatment that you would give to them. So that's a way to get around that flow. So you absolutely positively could go that route, if that makes sense. Okay, so let me wrap it up. I would say the first thing is to write a case study. The second thing would be to send out the email. The third thing would be able to do a live demonstration. If you do those 3 things, those 3 money generating activities, you should be able to, if you don't make any money, you should be able to spark up a buzz. You should be able to spark up some like emails, spark up some talk, spark up some conversation about you, what you do, and how you do it. And so I would proceed. I would proceed that way. Like that would be a good look. So if you need help with this, I'm always willing to support and to help you to be able to do it. We could definitely do a proper positioning analysis where I write out the treatment, write out the plan. We can do your facts, forms, and figures for you to be able to get you some new clients. I'm definitely in the business of helping you to be able to grow your influence, your impact, and your income. And the way that we do that is positioning, profitability, and productivity, right? We have to position you as the expert. We have to put the framework together. We have to figure out what's the money and where it's coming from. And then we have to figure out a productivity plan so that you can be able to consistently hit it, so that then you can build the like, know, and trust, and clients can be able to buy into you. So if that's something that you're interested in, I would love to talk to you about it. I am taking new clients. So if you go to nofluffallfacts.com, or you can email business@kdkconsulting.com. We can absolutely positively help you. But I have a training for my coaching community now. And so I'm going to start just going live on Wednesdays at about 6:30 because my training starts at 7. So this is a really good way that I can kind of just know I have to end at this time and then segment into my other training. So if you guys have questions and you're watching this on the replay, absolutely put your questions in the comments, and somebody that work here, I will get back to you.